Hey, what's up, guys? Someone wanted me to use the universal wind engine and to actually make the tiles and the events animated from a project that's made from scratch. So here we go. First of all, you want to take everything that comes with the download, take these images here, put it into your character folder, and then add Killer Jin outside B into your tile sets. That way the tile sets kind of match these trees a little bit better. These are just, you know, little images that you can use if you want. Next, you want to go and enable the universal wind engine. Right here, you can see the terrain tags 1, 2, 3 by default. These are for like trees as they get taller. By default, though, you only have like trees that are 2 units tall. So 1 and 2. Terrain tags 4. That's for tiles that are, more like grass or something, where you don't want it to be like a tree, which sways from the bottom up. This sways and moves around from the middle. So this is for like plants or grass or something like that. And finally, you have floating objects, which are 5. You can put that for like lily pads on water. Of course, you can use your region tags. They kind of override it, but I suggest the terrain tags overall. They're just regions that are optional and there for you and also work very well. Um, and there's actually a wind control variable. We have to actually create a variable for that. So we'll get to that when we do events. So for now, I would just go to your first map, add the word sway to it. Then I would go to your tile sets. I would switch it to B. Actually, B, I would change to the new one just because, like I said, I put grass on it. I have some more cool lily pads, and the trees match the images that I gave for examples. Terrain tag. So for example, you want to take this tree, do 1 and 2. I wouldn't use this one, and I wouldn't use this for tile sets, because anything that's more than 1 tile set wide, I would use events for. So you wouldn't use this. But everything else, like I would change like foliage to 1 or 4, depending on how they are. I would change this to maybe 4, 4. I just want a few examples for you. Um, things like this 4. A plant, though, actually like this, I would put a 1. A 1, a bush, 1. This tree, 1, 2, 1, 2. This could be 1. I think, oh, I have more lily pads here. Change it to 5. I think that's it for now. But anyone that uses this outside tile set with these terrain tags updated now will sway no matter what. I mean, you can keep going, but for now, I think I'll just stop here for the example. You get the idea. All right. I think there was one more. No. All right. So actually now, all you have to do is actually draw something on there. So I can edit, use outside. There we go. So I can just put some trees down. I can put those plants I saw. And then I can put some water, so I can put the lily pads. Again, the universal wind engine actually doesn't look at A tiles, but everything above A tile it will look at. And then we can go back to B. We can add some lily pads. And that's it. There you go. Amazing. Everything is moving. Lily pads. This one actually might not have the proper tag on, so we can actually check that real quick. Terrain tag B. Oh, 5, 5, 5. Awesome. So yeah, I mean, you can make another map. I don't know, new, and just do outside, add sway, and of course, well, sadly, then I have to make a way to get to it. But as you know, I can just um, do this, add the tree, add the trees, add the grass, and it would still animate just like the first one. It's that simple. So now every map, like I said, will be animated. The tiles will be animated, and it's that simple. Um, and of course, to be able to get to that map, I guess you would have to make a new person that just sends us over there. Um, with the transfer player. I mean, the maps kind of look the same, but you get the idea. And there you go. And yes, actually, if you actually put, let's say, a flower behind, or let's say it'd be easier to see, let's say a plant behind the top of a tree, the engine still will animate both independently, which is awesome. There you go. It actually looks at all the layers and animates them. So it is animating the, it's hard to see, but it's still animating the flower. It's animating this. Everything is good. Now you can actually use events to control this. Now, instead of sending us to that other map, we can actually give us a choice. We can do turn on, turn on, or turn off. And of course, we can just check the write-up. And then you can just add it in right here. I think it's a plugin command. And this one, turn on, would be false. And you get to see what your game looks like with tile movement on and off. And of course, you can enable and disable this. You should give players the ability to enable or disable based on their platform that they're playing on. If they're playing on a mobile device or a laptop that's not high specs, it'd be nice for them to turn it off. And this is what it looks like: static, not moving, a typical static background, and then turn it on. And there you go. It's that easy. All right. Well, might as well throw in some eventing, right? So if you want other things, like I actually in the download, I give you trees, a few trees. I give you the small tree, the large tree. I give you a flag, and I give you a boat. So you can use all these things. Um. So let's make a small tree. New event. Just call small tree. I would recommend direction fix, for a tree. And then you just have to add sway. If you don't add sway, of course it won't move. And of course this can be overridden. And then of course you can just, make copies. You can make a big tree if you like. These are for trees that are more than one wide. Big tree, like that. And that's it. Um, and why not add the boat? And of course, boats, they float. Where's the boat? Again. Oh, there it is. Um, and then for fun, can we add a house? Sure. I'm not the best map maker, so I'm just gonna make one really fast. It's gonna look terrible, I'm sure. Why not something like that? Um, Let me see. Add one of these. Oh, I'm messing it all up. Why not in the middle then? I shipped it. Ah, there it is. All right, and let's add a flag. But oh, flags, they hang. That made me realize I definitely messed up the boat, but we'll fix it in a second. Flags, they hang. Add the hang no tag. And the boats, they float. Um, and there you go. It should be pretty good. We have the flag that's hanging. We have the boat over here that's floating. I'm not the greatest map maker. There's a lot of people with a lot of skill to make things look fantastic. I think this wind engine will complement some maps. It at least looks a lot more alive than this. It looks pretty static. But you turn the wind engine back on. And last but not least, let's say you want to control the wind. I don't know, I'll move that here. Let's say you want to control the wind. There's the ability to, well, there's a few things. There's a few things that you can do. Um, you can actually have a wind control variable. But actually, let's set it up real quick in the eventing. Let's just open up variables. Just do wind power. We can set the first variable as wind power. Bam. Now you have a wind power variable, which is awesome. And now you can go into your universal wind engine and set the control variable to wind power. So now 1 will always hold the power, the wind power. It's set to 1 through 10. Let's just set one of these. I would definitely use an advanced eventing system, which uses, copy events using Yanfly to control this. But for now, that's more an advanced tutorial that I can show you guys later. But for now, I have this one tree control it. Let's give it, what was it looking at? We're looking at choices. Let's do wind power 1, wind power 2, and wind power 3. Actually, no. That's dumb. Let's just do this. 1, 5, and 10. And then all you need to do is switch your wind power to the appropriate number. I would recommend, obviously, working this into like a weather system with rain and storm and all this stuff. It would look really cool. It would affect, obviously, when it rains or storms, there can be more wind or less wind, and of course, it will look awesome. You pair that with fog and light, and the game will look fantastic. But here we go. Let's see what happens. So by default, if you don't actually set a variable, the wind engine will automatically assume level 5, which is right in the middle. But now we have the ability to control it. Let's set it to 1. Oh, everything is gradually, dying down. Cool. Let's set it to 5. Everything is picking back up. Everything is moving. Let's set it to 10. There's a raging storm now. Now this is like, imagine, it raining, it's dark, it's windy, and now everything is moving accordingly. And of course, your awesome weather system can then send it back to 1, and everything will slowly go back to normal. There you go. Wind bubble one. This is one when you set it in the parameters. Because again, if you don't actually set it, the wind engine will just assume you want the middle setting, which is 5. And of course, you can shut it off anytime. Back to static, back to, low overhead, or you can turn it back on. It's coded pretty well to offset, a lot of this computation to your GPU. So hopefully it works extremely well, even for people on mobile devices and for your game. But this is a really quick how-to on how to use the universal wind engine. I hope you really like it. I know there's some really imaginative people out there that can really make amazing use of such a system. And I believe this is the only system that actually animates tiles. Because these are tiles, the grass is tiles. Most of the trees are tiles, right? Yeah, this one's a tile tree. This one's a tile tree. So you can go with tiles or obviously events. They both have their, strengths and weaknesses. And the strength of this tile-based system is one, it animates tiles for you, and it looks at levels so that, even though this plant is behind the tree, it's still being animated as well as this flower right here. And it does a pretty good job of it. It knows the differences between the layers and animates accordingly. So yeah, this is the intro to using the Win system. I hope you liked it. Of course, I can make more tutorials if people want how to integrate this into like perhaps a weather system, a day-night cycle, into seasons, how to use advanced eventing techniques with YanFly. That would greatly improve your code and help you in the future, in very complex projects. But until then, I hope you liked it.